Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. Today we're playing Cycle Storm. How does this deck work? You have 22 cycling creatures, Songs of the Damned, adds mana for each creature card in your graveyard, and then you continuously loop Reaping the Graves while you cycle through your deck until at some point you play Drain the Stinger with a bunch of mana in play, cycle all your creatures, and ping out your opponent. This deck is sick. If you're interested in checking out more about Cycle Storm, definitely hit up the Epic Storm, who has a bunch of videos as well. I've played this deck in the past on the channel as well. So we've got a lot of Cycle Storm content for you to check out. I saw somebody did a 5-0 with this. It was TomatoCheese, so I'm going to take it back in. We'll see if I can make it happen. This specific version of Cycle Storm is not blue-black. It is red-black because red casts all of our sideboard cards in Pyroblast and Ingot Chewer, and then the 5-0 list I saw was playing Faithless Looting to pitch extra of your sideboard cards. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then in the main deck, in order to get more red sources, we have Deadly Dispute as another way of drawing cards, and it's another Lotus Petal treasure token. So we really have 8 ways, even without our lands, to make red mana to finish the game, and it also makes blue mana from Mystical Teachings. So the sideboard is 4 Pyros, 4 red decks, or blue decks, 4 Ingot Chewers, 4 Relics, 3 Weather the Storm to buy time against burn, Faithless Looting to pitch extra sideboard cards, 1 Flaring Pain for strands, and 1 Mirror Shell Crab to beat a single Weather the Storm, where you can crab their Weather the Storm trigger. So this deck is really fun. Hopefully we can get some decent matchups. Let's just make it happen. Definitely hit me up with a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about Cycle Storm. We'll see you in the matches. Round 1, we're on the play. That's pretty good for me. No lands. Mulligan. We have... We have the songs. Okay, I'm going to keep this and get rid of a Lotus Petal. I'm going to Dark Ritual Cycle. Or I can get rid of 1 Venusaur and then maybe go Dark Ritual Deadly Dispute. Let's get rid of 1 petal. Ritual, cycle. Imagine if I turn 1, that would be sick. Vault of Whispers. I can Deadly Dispute the Vault of Whispers. I don't have to do that right now. Let's pass. Because I could Deadly Dispute the Great Furnace on the next turn. Let's see if our opponent is on a deck that's going to interrupt us that much. Okay, they're on blue. Let's cycle the Street Wraith. Land. I'm going to pass until next end step. We've got 3 creatures in the graveyard. I think if they... Oh, okay. It's familiars? Interesting. Unexpect. Let's Deadly Dispute the red land. Okay. Pass the turn. Let's cycle 4 in the graveyard. We can use this Ardent Elementalist to get another cycle in. Pass a turn. Just trying to dig. We need to find the Reaping the Graves. Familiars is a very good matchup for this deck, just because it's very difficult for them to interact. They have like no clock. What are you gonna discard? Chancery, okay? So we could Cabal Ritual, then cycle. Cycle again. Deadly Dispute the land. Cycle. Didn't get there. I guess we could just try to Deadly Dispute the land again. No reaping. We can pass the turn. Well, let's cycle 1 time. Okay, pass the turn. So we're just looking for the Reaping the Graves. We could also go Dark Ritual, play Ardent Elementalist, get back Deadly Dispute, and then Deadly Dispute the Ardent Elementalist. Kind of depends on if they're going to tap out. At this point, we're going to need multiple ways of making stuff. But we have the Elementalist to get extra mana. They're going to Deep Analysis down to 17. So I'm turning off the auto yields in case they have something like an Echoing Truth on the treasure tokens. They have an island and a Preordain. They play out the island and play a Modern Age, so I get to pass. So we've seen 23 cards. So statistically, we should have seen a Reaping by now. They discard a Chancery. There's the Reaping. All right, so here's the deal. Dark Ritual, Songs of the Damned, Ardent Elementalist. He's going to get back the Deadly Dispute. We're going to Deadly Dispute our Ardent Elementalist. Storm is 4. We can cycle. Cycle again. Cycle again. Cabal Ritual for more Storm. Songs of the Damned. Reaping the Graves, get back Elementalist. And then get back a bunch of cyclers. We want the Street Wraiths first. And then the rest of them. Oh, crap, I clicked Street Wraith twice. That was a mistake. Hopefully that doesn't bite me. Cycle. Lotus Petal's good for another red source. Cycle again. So I'm trying to see if I can hit a Songs of the Damned. And the Teachings represents the Songs of the Damned right now. But we cycle. Cycle again. Cycle the Barrenmoor. Another Songs of the Damned. So that's why we're floating all these triggers. Cycle. Cycle again. Cycle the Barrenmoor. The Healer. Cycle. Okay, Lotus Petal, so now we can Songs of the Damned. We get back to Elementalist. Make a red. Elementalist again. Get back Songs of the Damned again. Play Petal. Play Petal. Play Songs of the Damned. So we could Teachings for Songs. 15 creatures in the graveyard. So let's Teachings. Grab a Songs of the Damned. And then Songs again. Reaping everything back. And then I'm just going to yield. Get back all my creatures. And that will be the game, because we get to play the 2 Stingers and cycle everything out to kill them. Nice to have a better matchup for match 1. So I'm going to get rid of the Pyroblasts. And I think I want to get rid of the Elementalist because of the possibility of them playing Red Blasts or Hydroblasts. Then I'm going to cut 1 Monstrous Carabid and 2 Cabal Rituals. Just going to try to, tempo them with Pyros. Hopefully they don't go after my mana, like bring in ways to kill my Great Furnaces. All right, we can't keep this hand because it has no mana. We have the Lotus Petal, cycle, drain of Healer, and then die. So we have to mulligan. Double land. So let's keep this and just put back the Cabal Ritual. Take it slow. Our opponent's not likely to have any worse way to interact with our graveyard. And if we play out these tap lands, then we can play through any sort of artifact hate that they may have brought in. They're going to cycle for an island, most likely. They reveal an island. I'm expecting a Chancery here. Chancery, pick up the Ash Barrens, cycle the Ash Barrens for another island. Okay. So we're going to cycle the Horror. Oh, we found the land anyway. Let's play the Vault and pass. Now we have double songs. We're looking for red lands and Pyroblasts. As long as we keep basically doing the eggs thing, cycling everything, then we should be okay. So let's yield until the next end step. Actually, don't do that. Maybe should just cycle right now, so I don't have to worry about it. Cycle. They could have Dawnbringer Cleric. Let's cycle this one. And the Imposing Vantasaur, I think. Alright, I guess I'm playing the Barrenmoor out. They're holding up some sort of counterspell. Nope. They cycled the Lorien Revealed. So they're going to have 4 mana next turn. We are just straight up passing. Cycle. 5 in the graveyard. 6. 7. So Reaping the Graves now gives us combo potential. I think I'm going to just pass and leave the Barrenmoor to cycle. Not play it out for mana. So now I'm looking for them to blink and start playing some spells and go low. Okay, they play the Modern Age. So they're representing only 1 counterspell at the moment. Who knows if they're actually playing Dispel? Dispel would represent 2 counterspells. Go Dark Ritual. Cycle the Stinger. Cycle this Horror. Cycle the Barrenmoor. Okay, now that I found a Pyroblast, I'm basically looking for a red land. Weird. Oh, okay, now I found the red land. Okay. So that didn't work out for me as far as trying to go off on that turn, but I did make a bunch of progress. Let's see if they Nature's Chant my red land. No. Okay. You have a single pyro. They're going to loot with the Modern Age. We have so much mana if we can resolve them. Deep Analysis in the graveyard. They're going to flash it back, going to 17. Okay. So they have potentially 2 counters here. They're going to play another Modern Age. I think we just are probably going to win on the next turn. We're going to go for it. We have Songs of the Damned, Deadly Dispute away the Vaulted Whispers, then see if we can cycle a bit more before we just cast the other Songs of the Damned. Play the Lotus Petal, play Songs of the Damned. They've got a counterspell, and we've got our Pyro. So unfortunately, they're very dead. I appreciate somebody playing familiars. I don't want to dead you. Let's draw 2. Cycle. Cycle. Draw 2 again. Play a Lotus Petal. We can Teachings and get Songs of the Damned. Cast Songs of the Damned. 13 in the graveyard. I think at this point we could go Songs and then hold priority, cast Songs of the Damned, and then get everything back, and then cycle everything. So Street Wraith, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I clicked all my stuff, I think. I think we are missing one of them right now. So we have a bunch of creatures in the graveyard, and by the time all the cycling resolves, then we will be able to just get a huge Songs. Because this is going to dig a ton through the deck. Might not need the Deadly Dispute right now. So we're cycling a Carabid, Street Wraith, going to 14. Draw, cycle again. Oops. Okay. Our hand is going to get huge here. Cycle. I could have just let all the Reapings resolve before I did anything. Cycle. 14 in the graveyard right now. Let's just resolve these and cycle these things. Okay, I'm cycling away all my stingers. Nothing left in the hand. Cycle. Come on. When is it going to be the end? There's so much to cycle. It's getting a lot of free value here. There's a Pyroblast. Cast this Dark Ritual. Okay, Songs is going to resolve at 21. Play a land. Red land, tap it. We're going to Deadly Dispute the red land. And then play this Petal. Red. 1, 2, 3, 4 stingers in the graveyard. Red. Go ahead and get everything back. And pass the turn. Although I don't think I should really just pass. I'm just passing right now to resolve all these triggers. And our opponent has conceded. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. All right, on to round 2. Round 2, we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. Tap land for black. Then play Great Furnace. We have to got double cycling. Okay, we're up against a blue deck. Ponder. So it could be fairies. We could also play the Great Furnace and just cycle that. Cycle a creature and see if we can hit the black land, because then we can get Digger off our dig deeper off the Barrenmoor. I'll do that. It doesn't really change my cycling clock because I get to cycle once and then cycle once. Kind of expecting Terror here. Blue-red. That's not good. Let's cycle. Play a land. Pass the turn. I wonder if this is blue-red control or blue-red fairies. They're cycling. Now we're very weak to wildfires, given that we have 0 basics. Plays a land. Let's just cycle. 2 in the graveyard. We have the 1 Songs of the Damned available. Let's cycle the Street Wraith. Looking for a land. Cycle this, because that costs only black, so this is an easy first cycle. Cycle. Okay. So we have to discard the hand size, discarding Phantasaur in case something weird happens. We have 6 in the graveyard. If they tap out, I think they're dead. But they're probably not going to tap out. We just have to play through at least 1 counterspell here. We have double Reaping. I guess Songs of the Damned is not that good at the moment. Fairy Seer. Okay, so they are a Fairies deck. Scary. We're gonna have to find extra rituals in order to actually force through this. Let's cycle. Play the Lotus Petal. See if they want a Spell Stutter. They do not want a Spell Stutter. Cycle. All right, pass the turn. We're definitely hurting for lands right now. They're going to attack. They hacker. So we're at 16. Plays a Fairy Seer. If we find another Songs of the Damned, we could probably win at this moment. If we find a Dark Ritual, we could maybe do something. So let's cycle this Caravid. Still no lands. Okay, Barrenmoor. Cycle. There's a Dark Ritual. Play the land. Let's pass the turn. We're taking 3 this turn. We have to note that they could have bolts. They're going to flash in a Spellstutter Sprite for more attacks. Now they can just sit on 4. We take 4 and they get to loot. Discarding a Scred. Okay, let's go Cabal Ritual. Or Dark Ritual. Seems like it's go time. Spellstutter Sprite. Cabal Ritual? Counterspell. Songs of the Damned. Okay, that resolves. Deadly Dispute. This land. Let's cycle. He does not know my deck. Close enough. They said, I feel like you're going to cast Living End. No, not Living End. Ardent Elementalist. We get back Songs of the Damned. Deadly Dispute the Ardent Elementalist. And then we can cycle the Street Wraith. Cycle another Street Wraith. Play a Lotus Petal. Cycle the Healer. And then we can cast Songs of the Damned off our 1 last mana. So do I go for Deadly Dispute? I don't know if I played a land this turn. I think I don't want to play the Deadly Dispute here because I want to Deadly Dispute the Elementalist. Play Songs again. Reaping. Get back the Elementalist. And then get back Street Wraith, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. And then the Stingers. And then the rest. Yeah, let's resolve all this. We can go ahead and play Elementalist. Getting back Songs of the Damned. Deadly Dispute the Elementalist. And then play double Stinger. And that should be lethal. Stinger again. Okay, cycle. Another Songs. So we would kill ourselves if we cycled all of the Street Wraiths in our deck, because we're going to 4 right now. Dark Ritual. We don't really need to do that though. We can just cycle the rest of our deck. Kill them. Cycle. And then here it comes. Boom. I'm holding on to the Healer in case I draw some way to make white mana. Okay, they scooped it up. Cool. Versus Fairies, we are going to bring in some number of Ingot Chewers and a lot of Pyroblasts. And then I guess get rid of the Teachings and the Elementalist. Then I kind of want the Lootings. I don't know if that's a great idea. Carabid's an easy cut. Cabal Rituals. Usually Fairies are on some number of okay. Usually they're on some number of relics. So I think I'm going to bring in another Ingot Chewer and split the Pyroblast Ingot Chewer. And then I'm going to bring in 2 Lootings and trim a Deadly Dispute and a Dark Ritual. I know this is all over the place. So we won't be able to use Elementalist or Teachings because I'm taking them out. I'm planning on playing a long game. They go land Fairy Seer. I can play my Barrenmoor and pass. I can turn 1 Dark Ritual cycle, but that doesn't do too much. We're looking for Pyros. I think I'm still just going to lead on the tap land. I think they are going to have a hacker here. No hacker. No second land? Oh man, Ponder for land drop. Island Ponder keep. They went top bottom, so they must have topped the Ponder. It chooses to not shuffle, so they did find a land. Another Fairy Seer. I think I'm going to lead on cycling the Horror in case I find a red land. Cycle. Okay, let's cycle the other one. Well, yeah, doesn't matter. Cycle for F6 value. At this point, we can go Dark Ritual, cycle, cycle. Let's see if they are going to flip a ninja. They cast Into the Fire my land. That's not unexpected. I'm going to cycle my creature. Play another land. Opponent ponders. Still looking for land drops. Chooses to shuffle. They make a land drop, so they got 3 cards in hand. Gets in for 2. Anything? No. So they're holding up Spellsetter Sprite or Counterspell. We've got cycle. Cycle again. Looks like I'm probably going to discard the looting to hand size. They go for a bolt. Put me to 12. Cycle and ice. So on my next turn, I can dark Ritual and see what happens. Because if they counter it, they play a Fairy Seer. To counter it, I can go Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, cycle, Reaping maybe. I just have to find. Ah, dang it! Ridiculous. All right, that's fair. So we need to find a red land so I can Ingot Chewer. Let's go Dark Ritual. Last card in hand, Spellstar Sprite apparently. Cycle this. Cycle. Great Furnace. Now I can Dark Ritual again. If they have Spellstar Sprite, I have the Pyroblast. Now I can Cabal Ritual. Let's Ingot Chewer. Try to kill a relic. And then they're going to crack the relic, and then I'm going to go Cabal Ritual, Deadly Dispute the Ingot Chewer, Reaping. I guess they could. Nope. They are waiting. They could have cracked it earlier. Okay, they cracked the relic. Let's go Cabal Ritual. Deadly Dispute. Ingot Chewer. Now I can cast Songs of the Damned for 8. Reaping the Graves. Do I want to get back Ingot Chewer? I storm of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Not getting back Ingot Chewer. Okay, so graveyard is exiled. I have 9 mana, so I can draw 9 cards. So do I try to go after them? I guess I'll start by cycling this. Cycle again. They have Spellsetter Sprite and 1 unknown. Next turn I can hardcast a horror. Let's cycle this one. Right now I'm at 7. Cycle the Stinger. Cycle this. Cycle. Cycle another horror. Vantasaur. I think I have to pass now. Brainstorm. Not great. Discard, discard. Ponder. Okay. Now I have to decide if I want to just try to play out the horror and attack them, or take my few turns from the beats and see if I can draw into Songs plus Reaping. Seems unlikely that I'll be able to draw into Songs plus Reaping though. Drew so many cards. Attack for 3. We're gonna go to 7. We have like 2 turns. There's a Reaping. Okay, let's cycle this then. Cycle this one. Cycle the Baron Moor. Found a Street Wraith. That's a little bit sketchy. I'm gonna wait on that one. Okay. I guess maybe it's okay. I'm gonna be dead to a bolt. If I cycle the Street Wraith, I'm dead to a bolt. If I find the songs, I think I have to pass. Let's cycle. Just Pyroblast that. Pass the turn. Maybe that was the wrong decision, because now I don't have backup. They attack for 3. I think I'm looking at trying to get healers onto the table. They're dealing me 4 damage. And bolt. Okay. It's definitely tough to play this matchup because they have their... Let's bring the Elementalist back in. Bring back in a Cabal Ritual. Kind of split the rituals. Maybe I want that Deadly Dispute. That would have been better. All right, let's do this way. 3 and 2. We're on the play. This is where the deck is much harder to play as post board. Let's mulligan. All right, we have the Chewer. I'm going to keep this and put back an Avantasaur. Let's see if I can find a different land. Nope. Let's see if they turn 1 relic me. So dumb. Every time, turn 1 relic. Dark Ritual. We're going to cycle looking for a red land so I can kill their relic. Cycle. Land. Pass a turn. Now they can relic, and I will eat the Dark Ritual. What a bummer. They get rid of the healer. The most tilting thing about the deck is that your opponent always has turn 1 relic, even though they're only playing a couple of them in the side. At least playing against familiars, you know they're not playing relics. I'm just going to move on. I don't want to play against fairies with double relic. We'll see in round 3. Round 3 versus Baiko, and we are 1 and 1, obviously. We have the Reapings, not very much mana. I'm going to keep it. Who knows what they are on. I still call Baiko, even though I know that Brazilians would say it's Besu. Pass the turn. And apparently it's a joke about puppy kisses or something. They're on mono blue fairies. Okay, it could be blue-black fairies then. Fairies is back. Cycle. So they're going to be the same situation where they will have a relic post board. And we can just let just F6 here. Not too much to do. Try to get some stuff in the graveyard, make some land drops. Looks like they're on blue-black. If we find Songs of the Damned, maybe we go for it. Okay, no. Cycles alluring revealed for an island and gets in. Let's cycle. Cycling some more. I'm cycling. I don't care. Let's pass the turn. 5 in the graveyard. So we have 1, 2, 3. We can make a bunch of spells and get everything back. Sideboarding is very difficult with this deck. Okay, Brainstorm. And then what? Are you going to clear the Brainstorm? You son of a gun. Well, that's pretty... That's... Wow. Okay. Okay, then. So we got rid of 5 creatures. That sucks. We're going to deadly dispute this Lotus Petal. Cycle a Stinger. We find a Songs, so we only have 1 creature in the graveyard, though. We could have maybe won last turn if we just really were a little bit more aggressive. Oh, that stinks. So I need like 4 or 5 in a row here. Need some cyclers now. Badly 1 Stinger in the graveyard after getting bogged. Pretty brutal. They've got a Hacker or a Ninja. Ninja plays a Fairy Seer. They're going to draw on their end step. Plays a land so that they can play Spellstutter Sprite. Draws a card. There are 7 cards in hand. Wow, this is bad. Pass the turn. Pass again. They're going to go to 9 cards in hand if they don't play anything. They play another land. Draw up to 9 cards. They're going to discard the hand size. Probably just discarding some removal spells like Snuff Outs. Thorn. Cycle. Looking for creatures to cycle. Wow. Gets me right here in my soul. Ouch. They're going to play a land and pass. They have like 3 or 4 counter spells. I'm going to lead on a Dark Ritual. I think they can play 3 counter spells at the moment. Let's cycle. We've got 2 creatures in the graveyard. And 6. Petal. Red. Let's Cabal Ritual. And just Reaping the Graves. Put 1 on each of these. Same target, and then here. Go ahead and cycle. Another Reaping. Cycle again. Find a healer. Now I have 3 in the graveyard. That's another Cabal Ritual. I think I'm going to scoop it up. That's my fault. I should have played on their end step. I'm rusty. Let's check out their list. It's possible that they are not playing post-board relics, so I'm going to just ignore it and do a quick sideboarding. We just have to play around the main deck Singleton Bajuka Bog. We have double Pyro, which is okay. I'm going to keep, I guess. The issue is that I just need to sit on these, basically. We're just going to Pyro, whatever. First turn play. Bam. Nothing. Cycle looking for a land. Can play this Lotus Petal. I'm gonna pass. And they played a land and passed. I'm gonna play this Lotus Petal. And just Pyro your Sprite and pass the turn. They play black land. Okay. We're gonna pass. The issue of keeping this was just not having black mana, basically. That's a good Spellstutter Sprite, very, very shiny. I'm gonna go for a Thorn. Cycle. Pass the turn. Once again. I'm concerned that they may have a Akiba Gang at the moment. They're cycling a Lorien Revealed, grabbing a regular island, playing the island. We're gonna Ponder. Hopefully they only leave 2 mana open. Gets in for 1. We only have 2 creatures in the graveyard. We're going to go to 7 cards in hand. I will attempt to Dark Ritual. Attempt to Pyroblast. And I will scoop. Let's try to win 2 more in a row and get 3-2. Round 4. We're looking for a win. We don't have any cyclers. We have Deadly Dispute and Mystical Teachings. This is so weird, but I'm going to keep this one. I like that I can just Deadly Dispute the Lotus Petal for 2 cards next turn. Maybe that's wrong. Our opponent is on CawGate. Let's cycle this one. But we have to be able to play through a Strands. I'm going to be lazy again and see what happens. Pass the turn. Maybe I should have played the Lotus Petal. We also have to worry about them having Dawnbringer Clerics. This is a deck that plays Counterspell. They're going to Modern Age. And what are you going to discard? Let's see if they discard Strands. Cat. Okay. Turn 3. I'm going to cycle. Double Petal. That's the turn. I probably should have just Deadly Disputed the Lotus Petal and played the land. I guess I'm like learning as I go here. Alright, 1, 2. Plays another Modern Age. We have 2 cards in the graveyard that are creatures. They discard a Squadron Hawk, so they have another Squadron Hawk in hand. Find a healer. Play a Lotus Petal. Let's see what I can do, I guess. Let's Dark Ritual. And then cycle the healer. So now Songs of the Damned is a Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual again. Deadly Dispute on the Lotus Petal. Storm is 5. Cycle here. We have to play around a Spell Pierce. Cycle. Don't really want to lose all my storm count. Guess I'm going to Songs of the Damned. Let's see if they decide that it's worth it for them to get rid of these petals. They do not. Let's cycle. I could have Teachings for Songs again. Cycle again. Then I'm going to Reaping. This is pretty much everything that I put in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's everything back. They're just scooping. Okay, I was doing a bad job at actually winning, but I appreciate that. So we want a Flaring Pain. Well, not everybody's playing Relics. That's a CawGate player. But they are playing like blue spells. I think I'm going to bring in... Really just want the Flaring Pain. Do I think maybe I can play through a Relic? I could actually bring in the Crab as a way to deal with the Relic, or as a counterspell. But I think we can force through some Pyros. They're a tap land deck. Okay, Let's keep, we're on the draw. So we have a land, cycle, cycle, cycle. We have 3 cyclers in hand. One of them is free. Basically just hoping that they don't have a random relic, but we'll see what happens. They mulligan to 6, so they're looking for something specifically. Okay, they keep their hand. Okay, they lead on a regular tap land. I will do the same. Play a land, pass the turn. And we're going to yield until their next end step. Our opponent's going to preordain. It's nice that we have double songs in hand. I think I'm just going to lead on. I guess I don't have to cycle the Street Wraith right now. I could just play the land and pass. They do have a relic? Why you gotta have a relic, dude? Why's everybody relicking me all the time? Land, pass the turn. So for game 3, we're going to be bringing in all of our ingot chewers. They're passing. So I think I'm going to Deadly Dispute my land. This puts two cards in the graveyard that the relic has to eat. And if they respond, I can cycle and hopefully win. I don't know. I doubt that they counterspell here. Okay. Play a land. Play a Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. They declined to use their relic. Let's cycle. So we could almost hard cast this horror. Do you think they might not have left in their journeys, but I'm going to cycle once. Another Deadly Dispute. My Lotus Petal. I'll pass. Trying to keep my free cyclers in hand. Once again, they've remembered to use the relic this time. And they're passing. We're going to Deadly Dispute a relic, or a Lotus Petal. Draw some cards. Okay. We have 1 Reaping. Play this. That's the turn. So we have only 1 creature in the graveyard right now. I think I'm going to do stuff on their end step. They get rid of the Deadly Dispute. Maybe not. We need double Reaping to beat 1 single relic on board, right? Cycle. So if at any point they crack the relic, we can just Reaping in response. Okay, we have double Reaping now. 4 creatures in the graveyard. They discard a Sacred Cat. Let's cycle this Stinger. We might have it here. Okay, that's 6 in the graveyard. Let's go with Dark Ritual. And Dark Ritual. We can play Songs of the Damned. Let's see if they will be easily tricked. Reaping the Graves on the Stinger. So a trick that I learned from Belena is that if they crack right now, then we get to use these Reaping triggers. They're going to crack. So I'm going to go Songs of the Damned. Or I can just Reaping right now, cycle my creatures, and then Songs again for more extra mana. Let's Reaping now. Get back Stinger. This won't get back everything though. This is a tough call. So we will lose 1 Horror. Okay, Reaping the Graves. Get back Stinger. Get back Street Wraith. Okay, so we're just going to lose 1 Horror. These things go to my hand. The graveyard gets exiled. And then I can cycle the Street Wraith. Cycle. Cycle. This is actually pretty sick. Cycle again. We're at 8. Dark Ritual. Cycle again. Cycle. 5 in the graveyard. Dark Ritual, sweet. Oh, that's pretty neat. I'm glad I kept recording this lead. This is really cool. They might scoop. I mean, at this point, we're going to get back our 3 Street Wraiths with the Reaping trigger. Cycle those all. But I'm trying to get to the point where I have enough mana to win. And we also are going to run into issues with the Street Wraiths possibly killing us. They could be holding up a Hydroblast here as well. This is very neat. Okay, we have the healer. Cycle. We also have to play around to Spell Pierce. I think I'm cycling this. Super cool. Deadly Dispute. Deadly Dispute my red land. Cycle. We only have 1 mana available right now. I think I have to Songs. Cycle this Horror. There's a Cabal Ritual, which is good. Adds a lot of mana. And now we can get back the 3 Street Wraiths. Cycle those all for 0. Oh, man. Whoops. Okay, Street Wraith, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. Oh, they scooped it up. Oh, they saw it happening and they quit. I wanted to draw my cards and figure out if I was going to win there. Oh, that's okay. I'll take the win. Okay, here we go. Round 5. We have Street Wraith, which is a really good card. Baron Moor. We have Reaping the Graves. I'm going to keep it and see what happens. We're looking for more lands and obviously the Songs of the Damned. I have no idea what Tabellano is on, or Tabellano. Probably Tabellano. Play the Baron Moor, pass until their end step, and do stuff. Okay, playing the Baron Moor, pass. We're going to do Yield until here. Ooh, CawGate. So it is a CawGate matchup again, potentially. Let's cycle. Okay, untap. We're going to cycle this Caravid. Looks like we're not finding a land here. No, they're just thinking. Let's pass. We got 3 in the graveyard, and 2 of them are 0 mana draw. Just pass again. We can use the Cabal Ritual to start the chain going. Thraben Inspector, interesting. So that might mean they're on like a Jeskai Ephemerate type. Citadel Gate on blue. Citadel Gate is white-blue, right? Okay. Let's cycle this. We have the pedal, pass the turn. I'm just going to pass their turn again. Really need another land. 4, 5, 6. Then we can go Cabal Ritual. We can Teachings for Songs at some point. Our opponent gets in for 1 with a Thraben Inspector. Best card and best creature in Pauper. Blue again. Let's just cycle here. I'm going to play out the Lotus Petal. Pass the turn again. They're going to crack their clue. Go to 7 cards in hand. They have a Thraben Inspector that they're pressuring me with. I'm at 15. So I do have to worry about the Street Wraiths killing me. They have a Basilisk Gate. Let's see if they're going to use it. Plays a Thraben Inspector. Come on, use your Basilisk Gate. You know you want to. They're holding. Puts me to 14. Plus another potential 7 next turn. In 2 turns, they could go double Basilisk Gate and just one-shot me. So it's a little bit scary. Still no... Let's cycle this. Still no land. 16 cards deep. There's a land. Cycle. I think we're going for it next turn. Pass the turn. They're cycling a Lorien Revealed. So this could be the... Could just still be CawGate. I just don't know what's going on. They reveal an island. And what? Cracks a clue? Yep. Are you going to power up your creature or just not? 4. So each one would be a 5/5. Okay, they are going to power it up. Attack for 6. Likely has Counterspell in hand. So we need to fight through Counterspell. Can we do that? Well, maybe. Let's go Dark Ritual. Wall Ritual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dark Ritual. Deadly Dispute here. Let's cycle. I'm cycling again. I really need that Songs. Unfortunately, at this point, I mean, they're representing Counterspell. Maybe I just have to not worry about it. Cycle again. Wow, we are cycling like crazy and finding nothing. So I don't think I can do anything. Let's pass. Let's see if I'm just dead. No Songs in 28 cards. I was like pretty nervous that they had Counterspell. Maybe I should have left open Teachings to be able to get the Songs on a different time. Pretty clear that they had Counterspell in hand. I can't really beat it. What I could do is if I draw the Songs, I can go Songs gets countered, Teachings for Songs, Songs, Teachings for Songs, Songs again. Right now they're going to attack for 7. They could also just attack for 2 and leave up all their mana and threaten me for the next turn. Did not work out. Maybe they didn't have Counterspell. Maybe they're just bluffing me into oblivion. You never know. So they are going to gate their creature up. So I need to find exactly Songs of the Damned or for them to have been bluffing the whole time. But I don't have any choices. I just have to make it happen. I can't use any Street Wraiths until I cycle using a healer in play. I find the songs. Lotus Petal. Songs of the Damned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It appears that they never had it. Okay, let's Deadly Dispute the Lotus Petal. Building Storm. Let's cycle the Stinger. They either never had it or just have no idea what to counter. Petal again. Songs of the Damned. Now we can Teachings. Get our other Songs of the Damned. Cast that one. 15 mana. Teachings again. Get another Songs of the Damned. And then I have a ton of mana right now. So maybe it's better to just I have to ignore the Street Race if I do it this way though. Let's go Reaping the Graves. Get back these. We're gonna get back the healers. Healer. Street Wraith, Carabid, Horror, second healer, Stinger, other creatures. And then I'll let that resolve. Just gonna F6 through the triggers. This builds a little bit more Storm too. Maybe that'll be useful. Turn off my auto yields. We're gonna go white, play a healer. I'm pretty sure we win at this point. It's just, what does the opponent want to counter? Playing the healer out allows me to cycle the Street Wraiths. And it looks like they're gonna finally use their counter spells. So they just weren't really sure what to counter, which is fine. We're gonna go healer, Stinger, and then another Stinger. And then cycle here. So this puts us to 2 life. And then play a Great Furnace, cycle this, go to 3 life, cycle, 4 life, let's cycle. Can also Deadly Dispute the Great Furnace now that I drew the Deadly Dispute. They're at 12. Deadly Dispute the Furnace. We can draw. So the one thing that I'm looking to draw into now is the Ardent Elementalist. Let's cycle. This puts us to 5. You have to make sure not to cycle a Street Wraith even with the Drannith Healer in play when you're at 2 life. That will kill you. Cycle again. They're at 6. This puts us to 3. They're at 4. Now I can Reaping the Graves again. Kill him. And then I'm going to get back all my creatures. Okay. Donk. And you're dead. Turn 7. I was so afraid of that counterspell, trying to play around it, and then when we didn't have a choice anymore, it just didn't matter. Weird. So, we were able to play through a single relic, which gives me a lot more confidence. I don't think I care that much about the counterspells. I assume these people are going to be on relics, but we do have to have the Flaring Pain too. Let's get rid of the Teachings, 2 Carabids, 2 Cabal Rituals, and then maybe the Pyroblasts don't matter, but they will be on a lot of disruption. Sorry. We're going to Mirror Shell Crab as an answer to both. Pyroblast. Alright, that's a little bit wonky as far as board plan goes. I like that Mirror Shell Crab can be multiple things. Okay, we're going to keep... why? Why are we going to keep this? We have turn 2 Deadly Dispute the Lotus Petal for cards. We have Crab for Relic. We have Pyroblast. We're just going to take our time. We know our opponent's on a slow deck. I hope I get to crab them. They play a Citadel Gate naming blue. We're going to play Baron Moor and pass. Okay, Baron Moor, go. So this turn I'm going to go Great Furnace into Lotus Petal. If they tap out, I will Deadly Dispute the Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal, like I said, don't forget what I was doing. I do want to keep the Lotus Petal around for a Mirror Shell Crab. You're going to cycle a Lorien. I'm simply going to Deadly Dispute the Lotus Petal here. Pass the turn. The next turn I have 2 Cyclers. No rituals at all right now. Plays an Island. They're going to play Dawnbringer Cleric. Yeah. I knew that it would probably be on these kinds of cards. Gets rid of like a Lotus Petal or a Deadly Dispute. Doesn't really matter either way. The Dawnbringer Cleric is only basically adding or reducing my Cabal Ritual. Okay, so they went after the Lotus Petal. I'm going to play a land, pass the turn. They play a Basilisk Gate. So we're a little bit worried about the pressure now. They're going to dome me for 5 or 4. Let's go yield until next end step. We're taking 4 to 16. It makes the Street Wraith not very good. Cycle the Healer. Cycle a Vantasaur. Cycle a Stinger. Cycle the Street Wraith. So there's 4 in the graveyard now. We found a Songs. Draw. Stinger. I'm going to cycle the Stinger. Find a Vault. Let's cycle the Baronmoor. Cycle again. Find an Ingot Chewer. I'm going to play out the Lotus Petal in case I have to do something crazy. And then see if we can make stuff happen next turn. We have 5 creatures in the graveyard. This is going to put me to 10. I could also grab the Basilisk Gate, which not sure if that's good enough. Okay, they're going to hit me for 4, putting me to 10. Let's pass the turn. We don't have to go for it just yet. Still looking for some cyclers. Great Furnace. Let's pass the turn. I am giving them more opportunities to draw into a relic, which is scary. Spellsetter Sprite. Okay. That's a little bit of a surprise. They cast Of One Mind. This is a crazy list. They're doing their own dang thing. So it looks like next turn we have to go for it. Alright, opponent's going to attack for 2. Okay. So I'm going to Deadly Dispute my Lotus Petal, try to draw a card. 2 cards. Then I can Pyroblast their answer. Let's cycle. Ingot Chewer again. I'm going to Ardent Elementalist to get back the Deadly Dispute. They have a Hydroblast. Counter. Right, so it looks like this is our time to shine. We got a Dark Ritual. And we're going to now crab the counterspell. Okay. Elementalist is going to resolve, get back this Deadly Dispute. Songs of the Damned, Deadly Dispute my Elementalist. Trying to find the Reaping. I did find it. Huzzah! Cycle. Deadly Dispute again. Land. Tap the land for mana. We're going to Songs of the Damned. Reaping the Graves. Get back Elementalist. Kind of sketchy here. It's going to be 4 mana for Elementalist, and then I have to get back Street Wraith first, no matter what. And then I guess the rest of the creatures. Does it really matter? As long as it's not the crab. Don't need the crab at all. So I need 5 mana in order to Elementalist for Songs. I find the Reaping. So let's just float 5 mana. Dark Ritual's great. Cycle. Street Wraith is awesome. Puts me to 4. Cycle. So I'm going to need some more colored sources. Cycle. 5. This puts me to 2. Okay, I have to return the rest. I'm going to Elementalist. Get back Songs. Cycle 1 Vantasaur. And then, how many? I've used 1 Petal. 1, 2, 3. 3 Deadly Disputes. So I have 4 colored sources left. Alright, let's cycle. But then I can't use my Street Wraiths. So the question is, I think I still have to cycle the Horror. And then go Songs, cycle, play this Petal. We can play the Healer, cycle, cycle again. Now I need more rituals. Street Wraith can now be cycled. Puts me to 3. 4. Dark Ritual is a good pickup. Reaping the Graves. So now I'm going to get back. I can put 2 Street Wraiths on the top and then another creature. Go Horror. We'll go Street Wraith, Stinger, Stinger, Street Wraith. There's another Street Wraith there. Or so Healer, Venusaur, Street Wraith, and then down the line. Hopefully I got everything. Cycle 1. We're at 3. We found the songs. What a lucky duck. Okay, cycle. Go to 2. Cycle again. We're at 3. Okay, so now I'm just going to cycle down to 0 mana, or 1 mana, hit the songs, and then I can dig for the rest of the colored sources and win the game. So we get to probably demonstrate winning the game with no library. We have 7 after using a Cabal Ritual. This puts us to 4 off the... okay, lots of rituals on the bottom here. Let's cycle more. Oh, I forgot that... Okay, let's Deadly Dispute now, the Ardent Elementalist. We're at 6 in library. Cycle. Cycle. Cycle again. We have the Flaring Pain, that doesn't matter right now. This puts us to 6. Nice to have these Street Wraiths available. I really like putting the Stinger into play and then cycling a bunch of stuff. Okay, we got 1. So we have to turn off auto yields. Pick up this creature. Cycle it. Maximum in the graveyard. And then we'll Songs of the Damned. Songs of the Damned. And then let all this resolve. Play the Lotus Petal. Make 2 red mana. No stingers in the hand, so we're just going to target my graveyard. Okay, that was a pretty cool finish to the league. Wow. Get all these things back. I'm just going to spam click the last one. Now I'm going to F6 here and not do anything until this all resolves. Then I'm going to un-F6, turning off auto yields. Play out my stingers. I only have 2 of them. But luckily we have more than enough mana. So turn off all the yields. Turn off all the yields again, just for safety. We're going to cycle. Now we can yield to the Healer and the Stinger. We're going to keep the cycle trigger on the stack, which means we won't actually draw a card. We won't even have to double loop our creatures. We had so much damage. Even had the Flaring Pain. Our opponent's down to a bunch of counters. They just couldn't do anything. Cycle you out. I was so nervous that I was going to bomb this league. Feels good. Cycle. Just look at those triggers. I like it to be organized too. I want it to be really organized on the stack. Make sure that it's not very confusing. One of the things is when you're cycling, it's a lot less time to cycle Street Wraith and to cycle Horror because they automatically use life or the black mana. And then when you cycle these things that don't cost mana, it actually it's harder to use because you have to go over and click the mana. We win the match. We went 3-2. Overall, I don't have any clue how to use that Faithless Looting from the sideboard, so I'm not really sure that that's where I want to be, but I enjoyed my league, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.